Welcome to Very Easy Sudoku Puzzle Monday. This Microsoft Sudoku gives us 5 options from very easy to, I think, expert. And so we're starting on a Monday with the easiest, and we're working our way towards expert mode. Let me reposition myself here. On first check, they give us the 1 down the center column of cells. So that's a good thing. Let's see if we can solve for 1 right off the bat. I think I see the potential. So let's look at the right column of boxes, the right column of 3 boxes. And we have a 1 on the right, we have a 1 on the left, therefore the 1 needs to be in the middle. All right, let's go to the center or middle column of 3 boxes, and the ones on the left, we don't have 1 in the top box. We don't have a 1 in the center box, but let's look at the middle row of 3 boxes. And we've got a 1 on the top, we've got a 1 in the middle, and there's no 1 on the bottom. And so by virtue of that, this is going to be our final 1. All right, so we can solve for this top box, I believe. So we have, with regard again to this middle column of 3 boxes, we have a 1 on the left, we have a 1 in the middle, and therefore a 1 has to be on the right, cannot be here, so therefore it's here. Oops. We don't need a note, we need an actual 1. So now you notice down here we're down to 2 1s, so it's actually we're down to 1 because we have this one here that we're going to select as the very last cell to complete the puzzle. So we're really down to 1. You should always be able to solve for 1 no matter what. So with regard to this top left box, which is the only one that's missing a 1 right now, top row of 3 boxes, 1 on the bottom, 1 in the middle, therefore 1 has to be on the top, cannot be here, so that's a 1. All right, beyond 1s, let's see what the smallest number is. Again, this is a very easy puzzle. So 9s and 4s only have 2 remaining. Let's go with 9. I usually tend to see, and by the way, we ought to complete this right box because it's missing only 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is what it's missing. Let's see, this is left-handed Sudoku all the time. Which helps me work on my left hand. All right, right column of 3 boxes, 9's in the middle, 9's on the right, therefore 9 needs to be on the left, which it is. Let's go to the middle column of 3 boxes, 9's in the middle, there's no 9 here, and 9 is on the right here. So the 9 here needs to be on the left. It can only be in one of those 2, cannot be that one, therefore. Remember, there's only one tip in Sudoku. Never guess. Never, ever, 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 no matter what the circumstances, do not guess. This is a puzzle of logic. You don't guess. All right. 9's on the left. With regard to this left column of 3 boxes, 9's on the right, 9's on the left. 9 needs to be in the middle. Therefore, it cannot be here by virtue of this 9. Of course, that one's filled, so the 9 is there, and we have completed for 9. What did we say? 4 only has 2, so let's go for 4. Let's go to this bottom row of 3 boxes. 4's on the bottom, 4's on the top, therefore 4 needs to be in the middle, which it is. Middle row of 3 boxes, no 4's. 4's on the bottom, 4's in the middle, therefore 4 needs to be on the top. Aha, Well, that means all three of these three rows of three cells within the left box are empty. 4 cannot be here, but it can be here or here. Quickly, this pen is giving me frustration. It's on a delay, I guess. Okay, so 4 needs to be either here or here. With regard to this top row of 3 boxes, 4's on the top, 4's on the bottom. 4 needs to be here or here. It cannot be here by virtue of this 4 here in the bottom left box. So the 4 needs to be here, and therefore coming back to this left box, the 4 cannot be there now by virtue of this one, and the 4 is here. So we've now solved for 4. Okay, the next one is 8, only has 3 remaining. So let's go to this right column. 8's in the middle. 8's on the right. Therefore, 8 needs to be in the only empty cell that it could be in this top right box. Let's go to the middle column. 8's on the left. No 8. 8's in the middle. Therefore, 8 needs to be on the right. Let's go to this left column. 8's in the middle. 8's on the right. Therefore, 8 can only go in the one empty cell that's there for it. One of the things I love about Sudoku, there's only one correct completion of the puzzle, and if you know how to grade it, as we cover thoroughly in lessons 1, 2, 3, and 4, at least all of last week, you know how to grade them if you're doing it on paper. Here, this grades it for you because it won't complete if you do it incorrectly. Maybe we'll show you what that looks like at the end. Okay, so now we're down to these two have only 4. 5 and 7 only have 4 remaining. Let's go with the larger number. That's what I tend to do. 7 is on the right with regard to this right column of 3 boxes. 7's on the right, 7's on the left. Therefore, 7 needs to be in the middle, which is the only empty cell within this bottom right box that it could be. Middle has no 7's. The middle column of 3 boxes, no 7's. Let's go on the left column. 7's on the left, 7's in the middle. 7 therefore needs to be on the right, which it is. Okay, now let's go by rows to solve for 7. Top row of 3 boxes. 7's on the top, 7's on the bottom. Therefore, 7 needs to be in the middle, and there's only one middle empty cell in this top box. So we can complete for it. Okay, now let's look at this middle row of 3 boxes. 7's on the bottom, 7's in the middle. So 7 needs to be on the top. So it goes in the only empty cell there in the top 3 cell row of the center box. Bottom row of 3 boxes. 7's on the left, in this bottom left box. 7's in the middle in this bottom right box. So with regard to the bottom box, 7 can either be here or here. Well, there's a 7 there, therefore 7 has to go in that one. And 7 is complete. Now we go to 5's. Okay, by the way, in this top right box, there's only one left. Let's solve for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the one that's missing. Let's come back to 5. 5, and this, we're talking about this right column of 3 boxes. 5's on the right, 5's in the middle, therefore 5 needs to be on the left, the only. The only empty box. Okay, let's go to the middle column of 3 boxes. 5's on the right, 5's on the left, therefore 5 needs to be in the middle. It can be in one of those two. 5, therefore, it cannot be in this one. So 5 needs to be there. Let's go to this left column of boxes. I just took a sneak peek. I see there's 2 remaining. That tells me this top left box and this left box do not have 5s. This bottom left box does have a 5. All right. Let's hold off on the 5s. Let's see if we can solve for this middle column of 9 cells in the left column of 3 boxes. Because here we have 2 blanks. This is another strategy within the strategies of Sudoku. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3. So we know this is missing 6 and 3. So if we look over here, there's a 6. So therefore, the only place this could be is 6. And therefore, this is 3. Now, we're gonna show you another trick. I know that's 6 and 3. However, let's say we didn't have that 6 to tell us, and therefore we wouldn't have known where to put the 3 based on not guessing, okay? But we would be able to know this is 6 and 3. Well, whether the 6 is here or here, whether the 3 is here or here, we can therefore solve for that one. Here's how you would do it. 9, 8, 7. We know the 6 is in one of those 2. 5 is missing. Well, we know it can't be 5 in either of these 2 because of by virtue of that 5. So therefore, this would have to be a 5. So that's a little trick within the trick. So let's solve for this left box is without a 5. You see here 5 only has 1 remaining. 5, so with regard to this left column of 3 boxes, the left box is the only box that does not have a 5. So it cannot have a 5 on this top row of 3 cells, and therefore the only empty cell is here. 5. Okay. 6 has 4 remaining. Right column. 6, right column of 3 boxes. 6 is on the right, 6 is in the middle, 6 needs to be on the left. Middle column of 3 boxes. 6 is on the left, 6 is on the right, therefore 6 needs to be in the middle and middle column. And there's the only blank one. Okay. 6, there is no 6, but look, as far as the top row of 3 boxes is concerned, 6 is on the top, 6 is on the bottom, therefore 6 needs to be in the middle. Okay, this one here, this left box, there's no 6, so there's only 2 empty cells. 6 is on the left, therefore 6 needs to be in the top right cell of the left box. So let's solve for this while we're here. There's only 1 empty. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 is the missing number. We can do the same over here. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 is the missing number. Okay. While we're at it, we can solve for this bottom row of cells in the top row of boxes because there's only 1 blank. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 is the missing number. Therefore, that has to be a 3. No other option. Let's solve for this top box because there's only 1 missing since we're here in this part of the world. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 is missing. All right, let's continue with 6s. We're down to 1. Bottom left box. Okay, and there's no 6. Let's look at this bottom row. 6 is on the bottom. 6 is in the middle, therefore 6 needs to be on the top. We can solve for the 3. That only leaves us with 2 3s as opposed to 3 2s. So let's solve for 3. Right column of 3 boxes. 3's in the middle. 3's on the left. Therefore, 3 needs to be on the right. We have 2 empty cells. Let's see. We cannot solve for either of those because the only 3 that we have in this bottom row of 3 boxes is here. That cannot be 3, but there's only 1 cell left. Therefore, we know that can be 3. And now we'll be able to solve for that bottom right box with regard to the number 3 because it is in the bottom right cell of the bottom right box. All right, so we're done with 3s. Now that only leaves 2s. Well, look, we only have 1 empty box remaining. Now, here is the trick. So we're going to solve for 2. We don't even have to look because we know that's going to be a 1. So we would just blindly, or we could, fill in the 2s. Okay, now, show you a little trick. That's supposed to be a 2. Let's say I try to put a number that's already accounted for on this puzzle. It won't let me. Let's say the number 8. It will not let me put the 8 no matter how perfectly I draw the 8 because the 8's not remaining. However, let me put the wrong number. 1 is remaining. It will let me put the 1. Now, it won't let me put the 1 there because there's no 1 remaining. But let's put the 2 here. It has completed the puzzle, but it has not given me the fireworks to tell me I completed it correctly. Now, in this puzzle, some people would contend I cheat. When that happens, and it does happen every now and again, usually if it's this far along and I realize there's something wrong, when I hit show incorrect, a bunch of these is going to have X's on them. In this case, it doesn't. I enjoy when a bunch does because I blindly then come and repeat the number that's in the cell. In this case, 1, and in this case, 2. Simply blanks it out, and it gives me the numbers back. So when I do frequently, then I just pick up where I left off. I don't cheat, or I don't try to remember what I X'd out or anything like that. I just return. One of my most fun things is when I go to let's say a McDonald's or a restaurant or whatever where there's newspapers and I'm familiar with where the Sudoku puzzle is, and I open it and it had already been started by somebody but not completed. And then I go and try to ignore what is written, especially if it's in pen, which most of the time it is, and complete the puzzle. That's a real challenge in concentration. I hope that makes sense because it's a fun thing. Anyway, let's complete this. We know the 2 should be here, and therefore the 1 should be here. And that puzzle is complete. I hope you guys have a great Monday and a great week ahead of you. Thanks for stopping in. Bye for now.